Welcome back to Catchin' Babies. I'm your host, Andrea. We're glad to be back, busting myths, sharing stories, and sharing knowledge. On today's webisode, I visit a local birthing center right here in Houston. I visited Sci-Fair Birth Center, where I got to talk with the midwife Patricia Ghaly. We've spoken about fear before in the earlier seasons of Catchin' Babies. But we still have questions. Join us as we revisit the topic of fear. Here's how it went. So we're headed to go see a midwife. We're going to go ask her some questions. Are you going to behave for me? Okay, let's hope you behave. So this is pretty much how we're going to be recording Catchin' Babies. Like this. Hopefully, by the end of season 3, I'm going to have some guns. I'm headed out now to go visit the midwives and the birthing center. I got my handy helper here. Oh, you're so strong. He has chosen to wear his slippers. I don't judge. You got it? Mm-hmm. Can you put it in the car for me? Okay, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about fear. And I think that we go back to this topic just because it is the main factor that determines your path, and not just in birth, but everywhere, and no matter what you do in your life. And I think that the most important thing is to overcome that and to tell yourself, you know what, this is what I want. I know that there are challenges, and you go for it, because if you lived your life based on fear, you're not going to get anything done.
My name is Patty Ghaly, and I have been, I've owned the birth center for 6 years. After my second child was born in 2002, I started working as a doula. It was kind of frustrating because women wanted more and there wasn't anything I could do to help them. So after kind of getting frustrated with, the system, that's when I decided to go ahead and become a midwife and be able to do the things that help women be able to find their voice, I guess is what it is.
My first question for midwife Patricia Ghaly is, what do you think is causing fear about birth in today's society?
Partly, I think it is a sense that we have as Americans that we should never have to have anything bad happen to us, and a fear of how we would handle it if it did. And also accepting blame. And out-of-hospital births mean that if something goes wrong, everyone who didn't agree with you will blame you. If it happens in the hospital, you tried your best. And so that can be too much responsibility for some people. And I can understand that.
My next question is, how do you handle the mom-to-be who wants a home birth, but her doubts hold her back?
Well, I kind of go through what I just went through with the whole thing that, it has to be something that you're really committed to, and that you're 100% sure you want to accept responsibility for. Because we can all be happy when things go perfectly, but when they don't, you have to live with that. And so for some women, it isn't a good choice. They need to be somewhere where they don't have to carry that burden. And for other women, they can. And so it just has to be something they choose personally.
My last question is, what would you tell a mom-to-be who has suffered a loss, is currently expecting, and is looking for an out-of-hospital birth?
Most people who've been through that situation already know how strong they are. I don't think they fear it in the same way as people who haven't. My son actually died when he was 5, from cancer, which, is not a good thing. But he was my first, and he was my only at the time, and I have 3 more since then. Although I try to teach my kids to be safe, I don't fear losing them in the same way I feared losing him. Because I know it can happen, but I also know it doesn't happen very often. So it doesn't color my decisions the way it would have with him. I think it sometimes gives them more freedom. People don't have anything to threaten you with anymore. Oh, you know, if you make this choice, you're putting your baby at risk. You know, you're killing your baby. I love that one. You're killing your baby, like you're actively doing it at that moment. Or you're going to kill yourself. You can't threaten me with that if I've already been through it in a different environment. And the environment you're telling me is safer. I've already experienced it. And so you can't threaten me with that anymore. When I opened this birth center, one of the things that was important to me was serving all of the birthing community, you know, all of people who are birthing. And so we're open for everyone, no matter who they are. That seems kind of weird coming from me, I guess, because people see me and they think that I have to be like a certain way and I have to be really rigid and things like that, and I'm not. Because I believe that all human beings deserve respect and they deserve dignity, and birth is the first place that starts. There should never be a situation you go in, you know, during that moment in your life and feel disrespected just because somebody doesn't like something about you. It's not okay. That was actually one of the main reasons I opened the birth center. Now, I'm not saying that all the other birth centers in Houston don't feel the same way. I'm sure they do. I just wanted to make sure that I knew that there was a place.
If you're a Houstonian viewer and would like more information about Cy-Fair Birth Center, we've added the link to their website in the description box below. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. See you next time on Catchin' Babies.